up, baby? It's Sucio, aka Cerberus, aka your mama's ex-boyfriend, aka Kobija-chan, aka... You know what? I'm tired of this fucking...
I didn't say what up, motherfuckers, though.
Anyways, welcome to the Night Prep
We're back,
podcast.
bitches.
The reason I'm starting off is because these guys have a pretty interesting concept, and I walked in blind, so I'm gonna let this man take over. You know who it is.
Well, I think that we all kind of like don't. So we all walked in blind, and I'm blind already. So.
Hey, it's the new season of Night Chat, baby. We're trying the new formula.
I've been walking blind forever, but well, there's this show that
Introduce yourself. I know that you already know you.
Well, the witch, the creep. Oh, and he already said it.
Started the night first.
I'm just trying to get it going so we could get into it.
It's all crazy. What's happening?
Yeah. It's the new season, baby. We're starting off a new formula. The big man over here wants to come through with 2 episodes a week. So we're trying to hit you with stuff, local stuff, games. We're trying to hit you boom, 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 boxing.
So anyways, this week, we're talking about middle school stories.
Okay.
And experiences because of a show. Because we always have to connect it to pop culture.
Of course.
So this show, Pen 15, which is penis, basically. But that's the whole joke.
That is the whole joke.
So fucking childish.
So I walked into this episode blind because, you know, sometimes you do that. I don't talk to this man throughout the week because you save it to speak organically to somebody, him too, like
Well, let me talk first about the show so that we can...
I don't know anything about Pin 15.
We can have a base of it. I've seen the second season's coming out. That's why we're doing this.
Okay.
But this show is made by 2 comedian ladies. They write it and they star in it. But they're old. They're like 30 something, almost 40. And they star in it as middle school children.
Yeah, that's weird.
Which looks fucking weird, but...
I'm lying, I have seen some of it.
The reason that they do it like that is because of the situations that they talk about.
They're
of course,
pretty adult.
They do masturbation, they do like saying, you know, like the N-word, shit like that. Like, shit that happens in middle school for real. But they can't get away with it if they use kids. Yeah. Which everybody else is kids, except for that. So, like, there was this one episode where one of the girls all of a sudden gets sexual, you know, like needs or whatever, and she just masturbates everywhere, no matter what, everywhere.
But which one is this one? The Chinese girl?
Yeah, she's fucking masturbating. The Asian girl, not, but she's just masturbating.
Oh, the Orientals?
With the Orientals.
How about some more racism?
But it has those kinds of situations. But when I watched it, it reminded me so much of my years when I was.
You were masturbating, man.
No, not because of that.
Yo.
But because of all the way... I think, though, when we're in middle school is around... Maybe, I don't even know.
Unscripted, uncut.
Probably like in elementary school when I masturbated the first time. But...
Bro, I didn't masturbate until I was 18. I literally had sex before I masturbated.
Okay. But...
The more you know.
But I knew these like people that were shitty like they are being in the show. Because there's also like I'll maybe find the scene, but there's a scene. Oh, this show is on Hulu exclusively. So
shout out Hulu.
There's a scene where they're fighting over like some stupid shit, and it's the girl, the Asian girl, and the kid. Because of something that they said, and they've been thinking about confronting the little kid the whole day, and she's thinking of what to say, like to fucking.
Isn't it the first episode?
I think so, to hurt him, and then she like fucking says like, "Well, your dad has cancer."
Yeah.
And everybody's like, "Oh, well, that's fucked up." But that's how middle school people are.
Yeah, kids are mean.
So. It fucking surprised me how fucking true to life was. It was. And funny because it's fucking funny, but when you're in middle school, you don't find these things funny.
Oh, they hurt you deep down?
Well, and they end up fucking scarring you for life sometimes, you know? Because I was telling the witch that sometimes a nickname that they give you in middle school sticks all the way to fucking high school.
Why do you think why do you think I have the long intro, dog? You want to hear a shitty fucking middle school
but
nickname?
you don't have like a shitty fucking nickname.
I have a one. You want to know what it was?
So with that said, with the Pen 15 shit that I moved out of the way so that we could. let's talk about our fucking.
Our formative experiences through middle school.
Let's talk about our middle school experiences. First of all, I went to middle school in Juarez, which goes all the way to 9th grade. So, and it starts a year later. So it's just a year off from how it is over here.
7, 8, and 9.
So it's like
Yes.
7, 8. Right.
So 7, 8, and 9 are middle school over there, which I think it's a little bit of a difference.
Isn't what is it called? Secundaria?
Secundaria. Because I think that helped me when I moved over here to high school, because I was never a freshman, and you know how freshmen are treated. I was never treated like that because I was never a freshman, technically, and I was already older.
But you were also a sophomore newbie, which I'm sure has its own nuances.
No, but I was never like hazed or anything. And when I was a senior, I was a piece of shit to the freshmen.
Well, let me say this. I remember my first day of middle school. I was walking into class with like all my binders that I never fucking used and shit for the rest of the year. And the first thing I hear from some like really annoying broad that obviously like eats hot Cheetos and lies. Fucking
Eats hot Cheetos and lies.
I hate all these 6th graders. I'm gonna fucking like abuse them all year. She said something to the extent like fuck these 6th graders. And I remember being like, man, fuck middle school from day one. So then at the first day of 8th grade, I remember fucking walking into school and being like, man, fuck these 6th graders. Like it was the same, like it's full circle situation. Like I understood. I knew why doves cried.
Do you remember that girls used to eat those hot Cheetos that they could get the red lips and shit too, with the red fingers? Or the lollipops, the red lollipop, because they couldn't wear lipstick or whatever.
What, really?
It's kind of sad.
They did.
No, I don't remember that.
I think maybe not on purpose, but they would be like, oh shit, you know, like, oh, look at my red lips.
Maybe this is a disconnect
Cheeto lips.
because I'm like 2 years older than you, right? Like 1 year older.
I'm not gonna say my age.
I'm 37.
Nobody knows.
No, I'm 32. I'm
Nobody-
about to be 36.
Nobody fucking knows.
But I remember, like, if you went to school and you had makeup on, like women or girls were very scared to like embrace that section of like their makeup because you were a goth or you were a freak or you were a chola or you were labeled as something instead of just like,
Well, look,
I want to have some nice like a touch of makeup
my daughter is about to go to middle school, and I'm fucking scared.
because of Billie Eilish.
No, I'm fucking scared of her because the way she is, it seems like nothing bad has ever happened to her. And I'm just waiting for that one bad thing to happen to her that's gonna break her. And I'm just like, fuck, dude, like. So I try to be sometimes I'm a little mean with her, but because I'm like fucking kind of telling her like, be fucking ready, because like this shit that I'm telling you, that's nothing compared to how kids are gonna be, you know? Because kids are fucking assholes in middle school, like assholes, like they don't give a fuck. They think that you're like an adult, like they'll be like, oh, well, punch me and I'll call the cops or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're fucking fearless.
Mm-hmm.
Not all of them, but they are fucking fearless. They'll talk shit to an adult because they're like, do it. Yeah, like what are you gonna? And it's fucking dumb as shit because they talk shit to cops, and I'm always like, fuck, dude, like you guys are stupid. So I try to prepare her, and one thing that we were telling her is like not to wear makeup, not because we don't want her to wear, but because we're trying to give her the message that like you're pretty without makeup. Makeup was supposed to be supposedly invented so that like, oh, you pretty yourself because you're like older or you're, you know, whatever. So we try to tell her like you're not. But like she's coming to the age where she fucking like smells. She looks like shit. Like I'm not being mean, but it's like she doesn't want to shower. And I'm like, and I'm just like, dude, like you're gonna go to school. Everybody's gonna fucking smell you.
Yeah.
You're gonna be known as something. Because that's how kids are. And me, in my experience, when I was in middle school, if somebody farted, oh my god, it was like...
That's the fucking farting guy.
You
That
were-
fool
you
right
were-
there.
Well, in my school they would do that
El
shit.
pedo. I mean el pedo.
There was
güey.
one that we would go like, it was this guy. And they would go like that, and it's like, yeah, it was definitely this guy.
Wow.
Which I always like. I felt embarrassed if they did
That's
that.
such a communal like animal thing. When you think about it, that's very.
Well, and
like,
it's something natural that it just happens.
that
dude.
human beings are like, this fool farted all fucked up.
Man.
He must be eating good if he's
Dude,
farting
now
like
as
that.
adults, I think about it like if you're at the bar and you fart, you're like, hey, dude, I farted. And then they're like, you fucking
But
suck.
when you're younger, it's
It's embarrassing.
yeah, people
it's
fucking...
more of a crux.
But when they did that shit, I always think about it now as an adult, and I even told my wife, I was like, I don't know how come I didn't like take advantage of that opportunity, so that when the guy was like, is this guy? And he went like that,
Then you
the
get him
fucking
that
fart
tap.
in his face.
And
I'd
you
be
give
like,
him that double tap.
fuck yeah, bitch, it was me. And then everybody would be laughing and be like, on my side. But I never thought of that shit because when we're at that age, we're thinking about ourselves. And we're just thinking about how to protect ourselves. And a lot of these bullies start projecting their own fucking insecurities by telling other people, like, you know. Like that guy probably farted himself and then he was just
Blaming it on you?
blaming it on me.
Classic. The classic trick. That's what I do.
But when I was a kid, like fucking middle school, people were like super mean, man. There was, I'm gonna tell this fucking story. Just my wife tells me that I was an asshole for taking part in it, but it was this fat girl. It already started.
How fat was she?
No, she was really fat, but that shouldn't fucking be, you know, anybody's business. But her name was Alma. And
Shout out Fat Alma.
she was just Alma.
Oh, she's regular. Shout out normal Alma.
But when
Love it.
What's your name?
Fat Amy. You call yourself Fat Amy?
Yeah, so twig bitches like you don't do it behind my back.
she was a little late to class, so one of the guys there, one of the bullies, was like, he got us all together and he told us, everybody act like a fucking earthquake happens when she sits down. We're like, yeah, and the moment she came in and she said, now we all went and like fucking fell off our chairs and shit. And I think about it and I'm like, dude, like I wonder what happened to her. What if she fucking like that day, you know, she was fucking crying all night.
I'm sure.
Well, didn't you say she's normal Alma now? Maybe.
I don't know. I don't know.
Didn't
what
you
happened.
like, you know?
No.
Maybe set that.
What I mean, I don't want to call
pendulum the right
anybody
way.
fat anymore because it doesn't matter if you're fat or if you're not.
I'm fat. I've always been fat. I don't give a fuck. Call me
Yeah, but
fat.
you don't give a fuck. There's some people that give a fuck.
Well, people. Let me tell you something. People give a fuck about the weirdest shit.
Yeah.
You don't need to. I don't want to create insecurities in anybody because at the end of the day, like I don't give a fuck either.
Look, I mean, I'm obviously a super fucking nerd since bit. And since I was a little kid, I remember people always fucking, you know, oh, you like this? Fuck this guy, right? So, I didn't give a fuck at a certain point. You need that. You need to have a little bit of a tough edge. You know, you need to grind down that.
Well, when you're
that
an
flint.
adult, I think
Yeah, it hurts
you
as a
start-
little kid, but it's.
Yeah, when you're an adult, you start not caring about whatever, you know.
I remember being a little kid and being like, I don't give a fuck, dude.
Yeah.
I had a 3 Wolf Moon shirt back in high school, and I remember I have a middle school, and I have like a picture of it, and people are like, oh, that fool. Like, I remember thinking like, man, there's always like that weird kid that has that shirt. We're like, man, this shirt is the shit. Fuck
Dude,
everybody.
When I was in middle school, I had well, we wore uniforms, but like those days off, whatever. I had the Budweiser t-shirt. It was like bright orange. The one that's like, what that? And I love that t-shirt.
It's like a Massimo that's
What
fucking
that? That was Budweiser.
totally. What was that? Like, if you were a cool kid, you had a Massimo shirt that was like all blurry.
No, it's all. Where is the Massimo? Target or where is it?
I remember buying it
Is it
at
a
like
Target? I thought it was a
GW or
Target.
some shit.
I think it is a Target. I don't remember. But like Jinko jeans and.
Okay, well, then if we're gonna sit here and be subjective about situations, like, I think as not just adults, we need that situation where you have to learn how to socialize with humanity, because our greatest strength as people is other people. You get a big group of people together and you could do a bunch of crazy shit. People lifting cars up and fucking off of babies, whatever. But
I'm a baby.
you need to know how to communicate with other people,
Just
and I
a
think
baby.
people are afraid to do that now because they have the screen right there that's, you know, like, I'm communicating. I'm talking to you, motherfucker, right now. I'm not talking to fucking Fat Alma. I'm talking to this
You're in
person
your
right
fat
now.
Alma.
You know, like, people don't people don't want to interact with each other, and I personally had to learn how to do it.
I don't want to know that like she fucking killed herself or some shit, you know? Like,
You know,
It's
but-
easier to make friends when you're younger, but now as adults, everyone's so afraid to talk to
You know, I
somebody
think
else.
now we need to get that. I mean, I work at all these bars, I work at all these situations where I see people who obviously leave the house because they want some type of social interaction and do not understand. And these are people who I went to middle school with, people I went to high school with, that I'm seeing them, they're already older, they're in their 30s, and they still have this situation where they're kind of like,
there's people that
Out
haven't
of
moved
place.
on, yo. Like, that's weird to me, that to look at people that were like, you know, in middle school and high school, whatever, and now they're adults and whatever, and they're still acting the same way. And they're still doing the same shit, you know, and they still want to party, and they're like 40 years old. And I don't know, it's weird to me because.
well, I think the party monster is different.
No,
You
no,
know?
but like being a party monster is fine, like whatever. If you wanna.
Not always, baby.
No, but
The
when
next thing you know, you're masturbating all over the school.
but when you're like still acting like a, like let's say fucking, you know how Trump reacts to people talking shit about him. He's acting like a middle school person, dude. That's how he acts.
Well, I think maybe and this is the thing, is a point of maybe where I was going was that people who don't learn how to deal with shit, who don't interact with people and don't have a random conversation with a random weirdo every once in a while, don't get the idea that shit's not gonna always be going your way. You were talking about your daughter, and you know, somebody needs to tell her she smells bad so she could put some fucking
We tell her all the
deodorant.
time, but the thing is that we
The
tell her.
parent doesn't matter.
I think
Yeah.
it needs to be like a stranger telling her like, what
Yeah,
the
yeah, for
hell, you
sure,
know,
man.
like then maybe she'd be embarrassed.
But also, and this is what I've heard too, is that as parents, that stink, that pheromone stink, is what instinctually makes parents get rid of children, because it's some fucking.
Well, this is way too early.
No, it's not.
She fucking smells like onions, bro. And I'm like,
I think you smell that because it's a pheromone thing that you want to get rid of
she
your
likes
kid.
to. No, there's fucking smell. Just go into her room right now. her fucking boots. She wears the same boots and she fucking sweats so much. And her boots smell. I had to throw them in the trash, dude, because those fucking goddamn boots already smell so bad, dude. And I mean, I understand it could be the whole preteen, you know, and all that shit.
And then put it in some sports.
But
and
I
get rid
don't
of that.
want her to get embarrassed by some asshole. Like, I'd rather me tell her, like, dude, you smell like shit, change.
She's not
Than
gonna
some guy outside being like, or if she's like, you know what, I really like this little boy, and then this little boy comes and is like, dude, you
Dude,
fucking
you
stink,
smell.
bro, yeah. And then, like, now she's gonna be known as.
I think we need that. I think we just don't have that
That's
shit.
what's gonna
anymore.
happen. Middle school, that's what it does. It shapes you.
Because she doesn't have social media.
Oh, no, she's-
I took away her fucking cell phone because they got in trouble because they had this group, whatever, and they were talking shit about each other. And,
Oh, burn book. Modern day
Kinda.
burn book.
kind of, but like some kid showed his, I don't want to say like too much, but some kid showed that he had painted nails, a boy, and everybody was calling him gay. And she kind of sided with those kids, but because she jumped into the conversation, she didn't know what they were talking about.
Yeah.
Because we taught her different, and I think if she would have known, she wouldn't have been like that. And I told her, I was like, you know what, like that's kind of fucked up, because what if he is or what if he's not? It's his business, and you're not supposed to be like that and whatever. And she learned. I think she was like, she felt bad, you know, like she shouldn't have done any, and that she jumped into a conversation that she wasn't a part of. So I was like, well, just leave it like that. Say sorry to him and move on. That's all you can do. But that's right now. She's in elementary. I'm like, in middle school, sometimes if that shit happens, dude, it's fucking hard, dude. And in middle school, that's where that whole like depression and all that shit starts. And sometimes you take it to high school, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you go to middle school, you move to a different like school, you go to high school, and all of a sudden you're popular when you were a loser over here. You know? It's, I don't know what the fuck. When I was in fucking in middle school, I was always middle of the road. Like, yeah, people know me, but I was never popular, but I was never like a loser either. And I'm in high school, same. I just like skated and hung out with my friends and my girlfriend, and that's it. I was never...
Masturbated everywhere.
No, dude, I knew better than to do that shit.
Well, I got two things to say to that. A, you gotta paint your nails. You gotta be a little gay, because gay people have really good fashion sense. just like the way, you know, pussy gotta stink a little bit, you gotta be a little gay. But I say, you know, like, you gotta have some fucking style at least. You gotta do something. Like, B, I think when it comes to weird situations like that, it's necessary for it to be a formative experience. Maybe not for that person, unfortunately. That's how important. But your daughter definitely did learn like a life experience.
Who did you used to like follow that you kind of copied when you were in like middle school or high school?
Dude, I can't even. Who I like the Crow? Like, you know, what am I? What did I have?
Yeah, like I think that we all as kids, we all fucking follow somebody. We don't have our own style. We always fucking like get it from somebody else. Even if it's like our older brother or whatever, we always fucking get it from somewhere.
Well, let me say this. I know that I had to start wearing big, like, interstate GS pants because I have a big ass and I got big legs. So it was very difficult for me to find jeans. And I remember wearing those fucking big ass fucking leg shit was because though, like, I fucking could move around. I fucking felt like I had some movement in the crotch, bro. And I remember that's why I started wearing shit because I was like, man, I got some fucking movement. So
well, to me, it was Blink 182, so I had the fucking shorts, the long socks, and like the, you know, and the t-shirts, band t-shirts and shit. And that's how I fucking started with that shit. I used to buy all the cargo fucking pants, those fucking pants, camel pants too. I don't know what the fuck was wrong with
Dudley
me.
Boys, you had the red and blacks.
I did, dude. I had the ones that were black, white, and
So okay, let me say this because I know with me it's three different things. I had getting into high school and coming out of being a little kid. Then I had like a fucking like I didn't give a fuck face, which it was just like I was hanging out with cholos and like I had fucking big jeans and I didn't care. I hung out with everybody, you know. And then in really that fucking transition into like junior year, I became all about punk. I had fucking like super long hair. And I was like straight up going through like a hardcore phase or like a fucking like a metal phase, but it was just a full on metal phase. And then I went into fucking senior, and I had like a job, bro. You know, so I would come to like I'd have like a button, like a white button up at school, and people were like, what the fuck's wrong with this fool? Like I gotta go to work at fucking 4.
I always found it funny how in like movies they show like, you know, those guys that wear like metal or whatever, but like in Airheads, remember Airheads?
Yeah.
How at the beginning he shows up like a delivery guy, but he still looks like that. Like I used to be like, that's bullshit, but like that's how it happens.
So,
Because at school I would see like people like that, like with their fucking like McDonald's uniform or whatever, but like still wearing their spikes and shit. And I'd be like, what? So how was it for you?
Me, I guess, like, yeah. Middle school, I did more like the rocker music type. Like, I had uniform then, so I couldn't really dress how I wanted. But like, I did things like that the way I did my hair, bracelets, stuff like that. It was that, and also a mix of like the wrestling, The Undertaker, like his style being dark and weird. I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna do that.
I had to shitload of bracelets, that whole new
Yeah.
metal phase. Like, and then the little
the chokers,
but the one that were like the metal fucking
like the dog ones.
Yeah, it was like a lot of. I used to have the uniform, but like that shit and like a shitload of fucking bracelets that was all covered.
dude, I remember my homie would go to like Sears or Dillard's and steal like FUBU shit, and like he would sell it to me for like $5 and these like $100 shirts.
I
would have all these like weird like jerseys that were like blue and pink and red, like you know how like it was like those style back in the day were like blended together.
Well, when I was in middle school, I was telling the witch that I was a delinquent. Dude.
How the fuck did we dress like that?
I don't know, it's fucking ridiculous. And now it's coming back, and like I'm like, what the fuck? But now I was like a little delinquent dude because I was like stealing shit. I mean, all this wasn't fault. I was stealing shit. I was stealing money from my dad, and I was stealing money from my dad so I could get out of school and go to the arcade and go like buy whatever. And I wasn't doing good, dude. Like I was a mess, dude. I was fucking like smoking and. That's what I'm afraid. I think like more for my daughter because I know that those were like my years where I was like a fucking vandal and like I didn't give a fuck and I was like tagging and being a little asshole. Dude. It wasn't until I moved over here that I got into music and like skating and shit, and I moved away from that because I had a year here, which was basically I guess the last year of middle school. where it was when I started getting into like new metal and all that shit, and I got kicked out of school because I fucking bleached my hair completely blonde, and I fucking got kicked out of school, dude. Are you fucking serious? Like, I was like stealing shit and doing all this shit. I never got kicked out of school. All of a sudden, I just fucking like dyed my hair or like bleached it, I guess, and I get kicked out of school. And I was like, what the fuck is wrong with the world? And then I got mugged by a cholo in the last year of middle school. And
Did you have big Jinko pants on?
cool, the cholo?
You?
No, I was in uniform. But the cholo was like, he came to me. He had like basketball shorts and like a tank top. It was at Segundo Barrio.
And you were already over here.
Yeah, it was the last
Okay.
year on Lydia Patterson.
So you're saying it's so different from over there over here, but why is it more structured over? I hear that. I mean, I've never been to
Look,
Juarez.
let
Is
me
it more
tell-
structured? Is it better?
Let me tell you, the education in Mexico, I think, is better because it's harder and it's more advanced. So like all
You
the
have
shit.
to pay for it, right?
No, it's public. All the shit that I saw here in middle school, they barely showed it to me in high school. So I was already like in algebra and fucking chemistry and physics. All that shit I saw in middle school. So I came over here and they just retold me everything that I had learned already. So to me, high school was a piece of cake, dude, because I had already seen all that shit. So I was in like calculus instead of algebra and shit because I was like, what the fuck is algebra shit? Like I had already seen it. So it's more advanced. I think that they have. I guess it's harder. You get out earlier though, and like lunch is 20 to 15 minutes. It's like super fast. So you have to like eat. So over there too, they don't give you lunch. You buy your lunch, and it's papitas and candy and nachos. They don't have like food, which I wish I had.
They don't got Lady Obama breathing down
When I
their
was a
necks.
kid, I was like, fuck yeah, candies, but I was a diabetic kid, dude. Come on. So I wish I had like a lunch. Over there, there's no toilet paper in the restroom. Also, no doors on the stall. So
But
like,
you didn't want anybody sonándosela, güey.
so you would get if they put toilet paper, some asshole would come in, throw it, or put it in the fucking
Or
toilet.
take it home because
And the
está
restroom
pobre,
looked
güey.
like shit, dude. There was shit on the wall because they would clean with their hands.
Oh, the Silent Hill restaurant.
Yep. And so if you needed to take a shit, you needed to have either toilet paper or like my cousin would say that you would take a fucking a sheet of fucking
Paper.
No, the notebook.
Oh, yeah, a wide rule.
And it wouldn't fucking.
Because that college rule will
it
cut you
wouldn't
up.
fucking clean you good, dude. Like, and then like if you were gonna take a shit, you needed to take your friend and tell him to be your daughter.
Yeah. So now you gotta really smell somebody's farts and be like, hey, ese huevo está huele
So
mal."
I tell my daughter, I was like, you guys are fucking brats. Because when I was a kid, I didn't have any of that shit. She doesn't eat her lunch. And I'm always mad at her. I was like, what? Oh, I don't like it. I'm like, fuck, man, I wish I had fucking lunch, man. Like, when I was a kid, my dad gave me the equivalent of was $2 for the day.
What was it back then? Is it still
20
pesos? 20?
So it was like, yeah. Like 10 pesos.
That sounds about right.
So I would get $2. And I would either have to be like, okay, am I gonna save it so that I can buy shit afterwards? Or am I going to eat something for lunch? Or whatever. So I would either save it or if I wanted to buy,
So we're going robbing.
or if I wanted to go to the arcades, like, oh, I can't eat because I want to. So it was like, and then I had to save 5 pesos for the ruta, for the bus. So I had $1.50 left. So like I tell her, I was like, you have it set. Like you can eat. They give you everything you need to eat. You have time to play. Because
Like yourself.
back in that day, we would buy something the first like 5 minutes, eat it fast, and then we would go play soccer for 8 minutes or whatever we had left.
You had the timing down. You
Yeah.
already knew what the fuck.
But we would like.
You're running into the restroom on the way back to class, and you're like,
And she's always like, we only had 30 minutes to play. Only? I'm like, fuck. When I came over here, and then all of a sudden lunch was an hour, dude, I was bored. Like literally the first 20 minutes were up, and I was like, when is it time to go back? Because then we would get out of school till 3:30, 3:25, And in Juarez, you get out at lunchtime.
Even in high school, what's high school called?
No, preparatoria.
Preparatoria. So even in high school, it's that fucking like
And then over
earliness.
there, in middle school, they prepare you to get out and have a job. So like you would go to, which was kind of architecture, the one I went, the one I did. But you could do like all these trade jobs. And then so that when you got out, you could technically go get a job.
Foreign education studies.
It's fucking, I mean, I'm not saying it's better.
I want to know
worse.
these things because I'm actually very fucking let down with the American school system. I've been seeing all these things for years. I personally feel let down by it. And I'm a person who had multiple scholarships
Dude.
and took advantage of the whole situation. I still feel really bad for a lot
I
of
was
people
telling the
right
boys
now.
that I think that they're like over here, they're becoming like super lazy about everything. Cause I was telling them like, dude, yesterday it snowed. It snowed in El Paso, fucking shit. And they delayed school 1 hour.
Yeah.
But my daughter's like telling me that the teachers were saying, why did we even come to school? And then they didn't give them homework. And I was like, why are they so fucking lazy, dude? Like, it fucking snows. I told my daughter, it fucking snows every day in like Vancouver, and they go to fucking school every day. They're not fucking canceling school because it snowed. They're not fucking, oh, no homework because it snowed. What's the fucking point? She got out. No more fucking snow, except for like the little pieces here and there.
The shadowy part.
So they didn't give them any homework so that
Even
they
the
could,
college was canceled.
so that they could
It was
play
too
in the
cold.
snow. The fuck out of here, dude! I'm like, come on, you fucking dude. Like they're so lazy, dude. They're like looking for any excuse to have a day off. And I'm like, I understand as a worker, like, oh, I don't want to work anymore, whatever. But like, you're teaching kids, dude. These are the future of our fucking country. And I don't want to have like a billion Donald Trumps running around because of that shit, dude.
Well, I mean, I think we're getting back to the subjective where this thing started, where it's like, aren't these trials and tribulations of middle school supposed to build your character? Because I think we don't have that anymore. We don't have formative character experiences where you can see, and you have to judge people. And people say, "Oh, you shouldn't judge people." You have to judge a motherfucker sometime for calling that kid gay for fucking having fashion sense. Fuck that. That boy pretty.
I was never fucking called any like.
I call all types of shit.
Yeah,
You want to hear my shitty fucking middle
but
school
it-
name?
Yes, I would.
Okay, my mom was married when I was 13. I speak about that regularly. That year, I came back because, like, you only have like a week of grievance. So, I came back and immediately there's one fool started talking shit. And obviously he went to the dead mom fucking situation. And I literally chased him out of class and picked him up and body slammed him. So then...
You were that kid from the video, remember that?
So somebody said, oh, that fool slammed him like Congo. So then the next fucking 3 years, people were calling me Congo all the way. Like some people, only like 2 or 3 people call me that, like the way you call your cousin Pee-wee or whatever. Like his name is Enrique, but it's like, oh, fuck Pee-wee, like get him out of here. So I have homies who still call me Congo because I slammed that fucking dude. And I'm like, oh, right, whatever. So now I had a shitty nickname for the next fucking 3 years because of formative experience, which was, nobody gets to talk to me like that. Some people need to get that.
Yeah. I mean, like I never got. To me, it was always my last name because my last name is fucking weird. But people just called me.
It's a bit interesting.
By my last name, but so I never had like a shitty fucking nickname. I did some shit where like they would make fun of me maybe for like a week or 2, but then they would just like whatever, and then they would forget because some other asshole did something else that just topped it or whatever. But I never got called anything, and I did some weird shit because when I was like coming into high school, I was really into AFI, and the person that I was following and doing everything exactly as he was doing was Davey Havoc. And I would paint my nails.
Oh, that boy's sexy.
I would paint my nails.
That's a
like
sexy
everything
man.
that he did, I did. And he got his piercing, and I got my piercing.
You want to hear something fucked up?
It was just all that.
So I remember we saw AFI over here. That's like Heine's now. You remember that bar that was right there? So AFI came briefly, like whenever the fuck they came out, and they played at that fucking bar that was Heine's before it was Heine's. And I went to that show, and the girl I was dating at the time was also like the high school, like a lady I dated in high school, a girl I dated in high school. And when I went, and then looked right at him, and then looked at her, and they looked exactly alike, fool. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, it took me back. I was like, damn, that boy fucking cute. Like, you know.
Well,
like,
when I saw him after the show at E9 in 03, I met him. I was on the line to meet him or whatever. And like when I got close, because it was the era where he had the long hair, but he was all full of glitter, dude, and like fucking, and I was like, holy shit, and I didn't know what to say, and I was like, you guys wrong. And then he fucking said, God bless you, dude, and I was like, God bless you.
Hey, all right.
I thought he was all about like fucking, you know, not being
No,
religious.
AFI is like old San Francisco punk.
No, but I think he said it like maybe as like just whatever.
Or maybe it was a sincere, like.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that's what
I wouldn't know what to do.
Because he grabbed my hand. And
Nobody likes my work. Everybody hates me, so everybody's like,
Dude, but-
you know, I never wouldn't know how to dig up.
all
the
throughout fucking high school, I was thinking, what am I gonna say to my hero? And that's what I had to fucking say. Dude.
Once again, another youth formative experience that we all need to go through, where it's like,
That's another thing I told my daughter. I was like, if you ever meet Billie Eilish, don't fucking meet her, because she's just gonna fucking disappoint
ruin it.
you.
She's gonna ruin it.
The fucking 80%, she's gonna fucking disappoint you, especially because she's older than you are. You think right now, oh, she's so unlike me. Believe me, she's gonna change because she's becoming an adult now. Everything changes.
She got money, that's why she's changing.
I'm like, so
She won
fucking.
those Grammys though too, so.
Yeah, I'm like, so don't. You're gonna get disappointed.
But luckily, when you get Grammys, they get rid of you. It's
Dude.
like the more Grammys they give you, the more they're gonna fucking.
There
throw
was
you
this
in the
band.
barrel.
This band doesn't exist anymore. The artist still does the singer, but Aiden. When I was in high school, I loved Aiden. They were like an AFI kind of like whatever, but a little bit more metal.
Also, my nephew's nickname, the middle name.
But I used to love that band, and I got to open for them in Wednesday 13 at Tricky
Oh
Falls.
shit.
So it was like I saw them when I was in high school. All of a sudden now I'm like grown up and I'm opening for them. So I was like, fuck yeah, dude. So now I'm an adult. Now I can fucking talk like an adult. I can't be like, oh, you rock, whatever. So I went up to him, to the singer, and I was like, hey, dude, I saw you back when I was in high school at a bar in the fucking North, no, on the west side, the horror bar.
Yeah.
Also rock and roll. And he's like, oh yeah? With who? Like he didn't believe me.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, it was these other bands, The Audition and The Format, and it was you guys. And there was like about 15 people there. And he was like, oh yeah, like, you do know. And then I told him, like, dude, I saw that you tweeted that you were in Cruces and you had nothing to do.
Yeah.
And I tweeted at you, come to El Paso, because there's literally nothing to do in Las Cruces. Come to El Paso and we'll go to a bar or whatever. And he's like, yeah. And he's like, I didn't even want to play this shitty ass town. He fucking told me this shit. And I was like, are you fucking? I'm like, no, you know, I get to talk shit about my hometown. But like you, dude, like you're coming here selling your shit. Because it's not like they're coming in for free to do nothing. No, he's coming into the city. He's fucking basically like, you know, eating here and shit, and like trying to entertain all of these kids. Even if it's 10 kids that came to the show, they're looking up to you. And then you're selling them your merch, and you're telling me I didn't even want to come to this shitty ass town? Then don't fucking come, dude. Like, get the fuck out of here. So like that shit disappointed me forever. And I was
So
like,
Aiden, you've been called out.
Aiden doesn't exist anymore.
Well, fuck Aiden. We're gonna have to stomp on that fool's grave.
Well, he's not dead.
I'm gonna
He's
fucking.
still around. He goes by William Control or some shit.
I'm gonna fucking take his an epitaph and put it there and piss on
But
him.
that
with
fucking
his name on it.
sucks, dude. Like, I mean, I don't know. Like,
So you don't meet your heroes.
yeah, that's when I'm like, yeah, I don't know if I ever want to meet.
The
like,
worst one I have, that situation where I went on the road, did security. We all know the backstory. I did security for a pretty prominent country festival in California, and I was doing private security for the Eagles, and it's the fucking Eagles. You know, everybody knows the Eagles, Hotel California, everything. And don't play the music here because they'll fucking sue us.
I was singing,
yeah.
welcome to. I'm just kidding.
But I was literally told, it's like, yo, the band's going through some problems, like you might have to step in and break up some situations. So I was like, okay, whatever, you know, I'm a private security, like this is what I'm doing. The whole entire time I was there, 3 or 4 of the main members, which I'm not gonna name, were just literally talking shit to each other's kids. I mean, mistreating each other's kids, dude. Like, talking shit to each other's wife. Like, dude, like the most douchey, fucking worst. You know, and I'm, you know, it's these rock legends. It's these people who, you know, you grew up with, and you meet them, and you're just like, fuck, I can't believe how shitty these people. So the one member of the band who all will fucking not talk shit about is Joe Walsh, because he wasn't even there. He literally showed up 5 minutes before the fucking thing. They got together, sat down at a table like this, and this is the only interaction I saw between the Eagles. Sat down in this table, somebody handed out a piece of paper and said, these are the songs. They all checked off the songs that they wanted to play with money on it. That said, okay, we play this song, you're gonna get this money. We play this song, you're gonna get that money. We play a song, and that's the only interaction I saw of the Eagles. And I was just like, set aback. I couldn't believe that this fucking band had probably knows each other's worst experiences, car crashes, you know, family dying, like went through this thing together, and they're like, I mean, a complete distasteful, like, you never meet your heroes because fuck the Eagles for sure.
That's how they say that Aerosmith is, what's his name, the singer,
Steven Tyler.
Tyler.
Everybody's crazy on.
With the guitarist, that supposedly they don't even talk to each other, like
I fucking believe that.
like
too.
at all. And so they're like, and then on stage they like pretend like they're like friends and shit, like, and they fucking hate each other. They like want to kill each other and shit. I'm like, wow, dude, I don't know. That's what I was telling the that I was telling my tattoo artist, like, you know what the worst?
Let me see it.
The worst part about being, I'll show you.
Take that shit out right now. Make me rip
the
your clothes off on
The
camera.
worst part about being, I have like 3 hairs. The worst part about being in the band is band members. Because it fucking sucks. But I mean, it feels like middle school. I'm fucking
When you're in a
band.
band, it's perpetual
All
middle
the
school,
Eagles is like, all the fucking Eagles just clashing with each other. And like, I'm just like, but yeah, when I was in fucking middle school, there was like a lot of situations where, you know, we used to have these, you know, those rulers, the ones that are at T, because we use them for architecture. Mm-hmm. They're the ones that you put on the edge of the table so that it's like always, you know, like straight. So it's that big T. So we would do that shit with the other kids, where you go underneath their legs and like that onto the front so that you could hit their ball.
Oh no!
And I remember this guy did it to me, and I saw him do it, so I went back a little bit, so it didn't like really hurt me, but everybody was like, dude, like, he got you or whatever. And I was like, well, he didn't really get me, because I kind of know. But I remember I fucking like, I kind of ruined his fucking life because he had one of the plastic ones. And when he wasn't looking, I fucking grabbed that shit, like, brother. And I went to and I did that shit, and I did it so hard that the fucking ruler like blew up in his ball. It went like boom, and everybody saw it. And now everybody was like, "Oh, you fucking got
wasted."
Yeah, and from then on, like nobody fucking liked that guy. I don't know, dude. I feel shitty for a lot.
Okay,
of
but why did they not like that guy? Was it his reaction?
Because he fucking
Because he was a douchebag trying to give you the underwear.
When you're in middle school, if you get embarrassed, dude, they'll fucking call you for it, and you're gonna and like literally, like you said, you have to not give a fuck or be strong about it, because that's the only way that they're gonna leave you alone. Because if they know that they got to you, they're gonna keep fucking pounding the same shit. Because they know that they're getting to you.
This is also the situation is that adolescents have more serotonin than us. So whatever fucking situation they feel it more intensely than you. I don't have any more serotonin. I used it up on drugs. So, you know, I obviously don't feel the same that they do. So, and I mean, I can understand why you feel bad. Fuck those people.
No, I mean, and I know, but like, I was always fucking I wasn't trying to be an asshole. Like, I wasn't trying to call people out. I think I was always because of the situation that I was in. Like, when I was in high school, my friend was he was a senior and I was a junior. So he was talking shit to the freshmen like all the time. He was just being like fucking whatever. Like, he wasn't bullying. Well, people might call him bullying, especially nowadays.
Now it's bullying.
Nowadays,
I said bully.
So we would go around in the car and throw bottles of water to the freshmen when they were walking like to their house and shit. Like full.
Did you do pee-pee in it?
No, dude, like they were full. I think we would hit him in the head and shit, dude.
I would do pee-pee in it.
But that's fucked up though. Like I think about it, and I'm like, I wouldn't want to be walking home and all of a sudden like, I'm like, what the man? Some kids like laughing at you. Like, dude, we used to throw fireworks at people in the car, like, and then like, and then like, fucking. Karma got to us that day though, because like I fucking turned one on, and I gave it to the one driving, and I was like, here, and he wouldn't grab it, and I was like, here, and it was like getting there, and I was like, oh fuck, and I like went like that, and it hit the frame, and it went in, so he like let go of the fucking steering wheel,
It's like the final
and he
fight.
went like, wah, and like it blew in his legs, but we went across the median.
Oh,
And the 4 tires blew up.
it's like the final fight continue screen where you're trying to blow
like,
out the thing.
fuck, we have to call your mom. And we're like, oh, fuck, we're gonna get in trouble.
Why does the car smell like fireworks?
Yeah, we're being
I don't know.
idiots.
As a kid, I'll legit tell you the truth. I remember drive-bys. What I remember legit is like fucking don't cross the street because you're gonna get shot. Like it was I couldn't even play basketball like in the neighborhood because it was like no.
Did you
you're gonna get
remember
shot.
any fucked up stories?
Middle school?
Yes.
I was like, that was a terrible middle school I went to. I was like,
Why? What type? Was it here?
yeah,
Okay.
It was
What
here.
side of town?
west. It was
Okay.
like for as people say the west side, whatever. That it was a bad school.
I think we know which one it is.
They set fire to the football field. This was a year after I had left. They broke the generator, so we didn't have power at one point. They also broke the water heater, so we didn't have water in the toilets. Some girls wanted to go to the bathroom, and the teacher said no, so they beat her up and tied her to the chair.
The
The assistant principal was a pedophile, and he got arrested.
Oh, that has
for
happened a lot lately.
That was just an awful school. There was a fight, and the guy had a cast, and he hit the security guard, and she cracked her skull open.
I believe that shit because kids on the west
And,
side.
and what was it for? A girl, as always. And I'm like, you're in middle school. What do you know? There was a rumble. This was the time when I was there. There was like the skaters and what was it, the other one? The rebels or something like that. They were fighting. The bell rang and boom, they all just started fighting right before going into class, and you just saw it was just a spectacle. And I was just like, my God.
Somebody always takes their belt off.
That's so
Yeah.
funny, dude, because
There's always one guy with a
because
belt
in high
off.
school, dude,
Swinging.
when we would make fun of, the rebels and the skate, we were all fucking like friends. So we would make fun of that shit. So there was like the breakdancing kids that were really good.
Yeah.
For some reason, the rebels and the skater, and they would have like the fucking cardboard to do the breakdancing and shit.
They
And
had
the
a
really,
breakdance fight?
No, and the really good ones would be doing it, and we'd be like, oh.
Yeah.
But
for
then we
sure.
would come in, dude, and we were like, oh, I'm gonna do it, bro. And then like we would just do like the entrance and shit, but we would never do it.
Oh, some baby kids.
And then the other people would be like, oh, heroes, and like you would be like just doing stupid shit, but we would all be friends. Like it's because in high school everything changes.
It does.
Because
middle school is a strange place.
In middle school is like, oh, you're this and you're that. Fuck you. You're not like me. I hate you.
It's the pre-formative. I think it's, and they even talk about it now with older people, where it's like, people have to have an identity at some point, where it's like, you can say this is the music I like and this is the books I like to read or whatever, but people latch onto that identity and hold on to it for the fucking life of them, and they don't even care too much about the music or whatever they're following. It's just you have to be a freak. Oh, you're a freak. Because my time it was the freaks and the cholos. Either you're a freak or you're a cholo. There's no middle.
Well, I think in high school is when you start getting a little bit more emotional. I think that's when you start realizing like, oh shit, like I love my friend, or like I really care about what like this guy says to me. So like I think you start having more emotions toward things, because in middle school it seems almost like you don't give a fuck. Like you just fucking talk out of your ass and you don't fucking give a fuck what people tell you. Because like I'm telling you, we would talk shit to the teachers. I don't know why, dude. Like now I think about it, I'm like, that's fucked up, man. If I was a teacher, I would want, the children that I'm teaching to fucking respect me and to be nice to me. I don't even know how the fuck they do it, but my cousin is a teacher in middle school. And it's so weird because, dude, I saw him steal shit, do drugs, vandalize things, and now he's a fucking teacher. And I'm like, what the
Don't
fuck?
do it, kids.
I'm like, it's so fucking weird though to see him, and he's trying to be like the nicest person to these kids. And
But he will beat their ass. And
no, and he
get
tells me
upset.
like these kids don't give a fuck. Like if you
Yeah.
tell them don't use your cell phone, and they'll be sitting there playing Fortnite on their phone, and he has to take them away, and they get mad and shit. And I don't know, and now you have to be afraid that they're gonna bring a gun or some shit, maybe fucking kill you because I don't know, it's
Oh, I want to die. Maybe I should be a teacher.
it's a fucking weird fucking choice of. If I was a teacher, I'd be elementary or high school. Fuck middle
Not
school.
middle school. Middle school's that way.
Fuck
You know,
middle school.
half of my friends, and I say this, half of my friends are either teachers or professors or something, and the other half are like in bands and musicians.
Well,
And it really, like, they tell me all the stories about kids now, and I'm like, we gotta give up on this generation, y'all. From fucking whatever, 13 to fucking 25, throw them in the trash, baby, because we gotta start, we gotta go back to, 7, 8, 9, and 10 and help those people out, because we fucked up. We let these people down. The people now, we let them down.
this generation is growing up inside of their houses, and they're growing up talking shit and all this shit on the internet, where nobody can tell them that they're wrong. So once they go into real life, it's over. There's like, and that's what I tell my daughter because she really doesn't have a lot of interaction either. But I try to tell her like, hey, don't be shitty. Like, don't be fucking. You can't be like that.
Don't be a shitty person.
And I tell her one day.
That's a beautiful lesson.
One day you're going to say something shitty, and no matter who it is, no matter if it's a guy or a girl, you're gonna get punched, and you're not gonna fucking like it because it fucking sucks. Like, and
They still haven't seen the crazy man on the bus that just randomly punches somebody for no reason.
or stabs.
You
dude.
know, it's just that's just a random occurrence.
That's what I
of
tell
chaos.
Yeah, I tell her. I was like, don't be, because she's afraid of like ghosts and shit like that. And I'm like, don't be fucking afraid of stupid shit. Be afraid of like people. People are shitty, dude. Like
Humanity is the greatest.
she fucking
danger.
crosses the crosswalk like that. Like she doesn't look. She's just like it's a crosswalk. I'm like, no, dude. Like people don't fucking look. They're not paying attention. They're on their freaking phone, whatever. You can fucking get run over.
Maybe you should take her to Juarez and show her how the fucking rutas, how you gotta get on the rutas and jump on, I think she needs to see somebody get run over to fucking appreciate it.
I'm afraid for her generation too. I'm more afraid for her, but I mean, I hope that they're gonna be okay. But like a lot of the things I see, I'm like, fuck, like how everything's going back in time is fucking weird.
In what way?
How she's like grabbing my fucking clothes and
Your
wearing them
flannels,
herself, dude. And I'm like, what are you doing?
Well, first of all, that's a cute thing that daughters do with that, so whatever. That's a form of
yeah, but it's
testing.
going back. That's what I'm saying. Like now,
But you're saying style-wise.
yeah, like the 90s and the 80s, like all of a sudden it's back.
But I don't know if you remember in fucking high school or whatever, in middle school, people were trying to dress like fucking like 70s shit, or was it 60s? There was a big mod movement.
But
And
I don't
remember
think it
being
was
like,
as
people
big
had-
as it's because look, when we were growing up, we didn't have the internet as much as like do now. Yeah, we did have it like
we couldn't share culture as
later
quickly
on.
as we could.
But when we grew up, new metal and all that shit was a completely new thing, dude. Maybe the style wasn't completely new, but I think that the things that came from it were kind of like their own thing, aside from the metal, and from like, because it was a mix of rap and metal, I guess. So it was like this new kind.
It was a dark time for us.
It was like a new style, all that shit, industrial music, all of that was kind of new. It was like a new thing. Yeah, maybe looking back now it's shitty, but it was a new thing, We didn't really go and dress exactly. Now that the kids have the internet, now they think that all the old shit is cool, because we never thought that shit. We always thought like that shit's old. Like, I want to be the new guy, Now, my daughter is dressing like a fucking 90s person. Like with these and like fucking Kurt Cobain and shit. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Or I see kids like being fucking 80s, like totally 80s.
But
dude.
okay, let's get this thing, this distinguishing, whatever. I fucked up that word. Anyways, let's get this template down where it's every 25 years something's considered retro, and that's like the number. It's 25 years if I remember correctly. So Nirvana was 25 years ago.
Dude, has nostalgia ever been as huge as it is now, though?
Yeah, bro.
I don't
Absolutely.
think so. I think that nowadays, I think our generation, I think we held on to our shit more than other generations have.
Have you read a Stephen King book?
Yeah, I mean, it's because I'm not saying it's not there.
Have you seen how many World War II
Huh?
movies we have? And it's more like
Yeah.
they're capturing like a time.
Yeah, but like, they don't have all this shit, you know? Like,
Well, because our fucking time was the shit.
but that's what I'm saying. Like, we held on to it and we live in it. My dad doesn't live in that shit. Like, yeah, he has his books and his records, but he doesn't have them all on the wall and displaying them, and we do. We like to display our
Well, but
childhood.
I think that's our personalities.
Yeah, we're all
that have
different.
seeped out of us.
I understand. Like, I get it. But like for example, my daughter, she doesn't give a shit about showing what she has. You know, she doesn't give a shit
Not
about
yet,
that.
because she sees you do it.
Yeah, and she's
still
learned
middle
some.
school. I mean, she's still elementary.
She's learned some habits where like, oh, I don't open this toy. You know. Which I'm like, no, open it. You're a fucking kid. I don't open it because I'm a fucking grown-ass adult. No matter how much I want to play
I
with
really
it,
do want to open it.
I
though.
look fucking stupid if I'm like, well, look at
Fuck
fucking
no.
Ash.
Kids don't play with toys.
Ash and Jason fighting each other.
Finally, after all these, they don't.
Kids don't play with toys.
No, they
Why do you think all the toy stores close?
Yeah, they do video games, and our generations are the ones buying toys.
Yeah. Well, because we have money.
So it's either babies or adults that are buying
No,
those toys.
you gotta remember, as little kids, it was mass produced. You had Ninja Turtles at every Walgreens,
Yeah.
but Ninja Turtles were
At Food City, they had Ninja Turtles.
but they were $2.99 though.
They were
You know,
fun.
like you compare it to a fucking Marvel Legend that's $25,
that they're made for adults.
and it's that's to me it's the same amount of eccentricity. Where like
Yeah.
a GI Joe was 99 cents. A GI Joe with 5 guns and a little parachute was 99 cents.
Yeah, but grab that shit. The fucking guns weren't painted.
they were shit.
They
You
were
just
shitty.
needed something,
Yeah,
right?
they were shitty though. Like
We don't have that shit
now,
anymore.
I
It's
think
like
it's
a
more
thing.
quality. I could argue about the Marvel Legends being quality because they're kind of shitty too.
They are.
But
The sculpt is nice.
I think they're made for adults. Think Geek is for adults. That's just not for kids. Like that's a toy store for adults.
Well, it's a collectible. That's why.
Yeah, but I mean they have
That's how they say it. It's a
they have
collectible.
they have plushies. You know, they have like stupid shit. They have fucking like beanbags of like Snorlax and shit. You know, it's like what fucking grown adult? But
I want
Oh,
a
that's
beanbag
wonderful.
Snorlax.
I want it.
Well,
No, it's like what kid wants that? No kid wants
No.
that.
Well,
They're like
maybe
they're
if
too
the
concerned, they're
parent-
like, oh, give me a Switch game, get me another tablet.
Yeah,
You
because
know?
I think all the toys that my daughter has, like, probably I bought it, like, through my eyes. Like, oh, you're gonna like Harley Quinn. Here you go. We actually bought her, like, this, like, Barbie Harley Quinn, and we made her not open it. And it's in storage, so... I don't know. But
I bought my nephew a badass like dinosaur that had like armor and like rockets, like a fucking Tyrannosaurus that you press the button and it fucking roars. He didn't even give a fuck about it.
No.
He didn't give 0 fucks
Where's
about it.
Fortnite? Give me Fortnite.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
like, but I mean, okay, in defense of kids, because obviously there's not kids here, weren't we like
Oh, my daughter, you would be
hook the
having-
Super Nintendo up? Where's the fucking Nintendo at, bro? Oh, what do you have? What games do you have?
No, my daughter, I think little boys are more into
But
like
then we
that.
still played with other toys. We had the wrestling figures. The
Yeah.
girls had Barbies, Play-Doh, stuff like that.
I played with the Mighty Max.
Mighty Maxes were the shit.
I played with Mighty Max a lot with the micro machines. I like that shit. Hot Wheels.
Micro Machines.
I like the wrestlers, but the Mexican ones. I used to play with that shit.
The one-handers.
Yeah, but that's just I play with all that shit, and I still play with yo-yos and fucking tops and kids nowadays. They don't do that.
But doesn't that and once again, this is another thing about trends. I feel like every year there's a trend. So we had spinners.
Yeah, but how
2-3
long
years
did the
ago.
trend last? Like for this generation, trends have lasted at max
6 months.
like 6 months,
Maybe.
and it didn't used to. It used to last way longer than
At
that.
least a year or two.
And now they're so short. Fidget spinners were literally like fucking what's it called, slime?
Yeah, that was a thing.
That was a thing for like 6 months too, or maybe a year. Might say a year,
Mhm.
but it fucking came and went, and like nobody, you know. But fidget spinners are hard. There was fucking stores just for fidget spinners
Yeah.
that were selling fidget spinners for $20. Now they're like a set.
But there was also like a rush for Beyblades.
Yeah.
And then there was the
Pogs,
pumpkin, the
or
pog,
Tazos,
and obviously, like, what else was it? Like,
yo-yos, tops. Those were always coming.
trying to remember, like, things that were, like, skills that became something. Like, but, you know, it was always a skill attached to an item. There was always something that you had to,
You
trick.
could do
You had
something cool.
Heelys. You know, maybe
fuck
Heelys
that
were a
shit.
little
That was
bit-
already too old.
Well, I remember buying Heelys. I had Heelys. I was a grown man.
You remember
man.
soaps? Do you remember the soaps? The
Yeah,
soaps
yeah.
were there was these shoes that had wax in the middle part, so like you could grind just with your shoes.
Started this journey, your body.
Talking about middle school, we had this friend that had soaps, and it
He was the coolest.
No, he was known as Soper his whole life. Where's Soper? Soper! And that was his name. And people that met him afterwards were like, why do they call you Soper?
You know, I had
Oh,
a
I
friend
had
in middle
soaps.
school that was
Soper.
we called him Heifer because he looked like Heifer from Rocco's Modern Life, where he was really top heavy and then he had skinny ass long legs.
Dude, look,
And I
I can
remember
tell-
now to this day I still call him Heifer.
I can tell you all the fucking nicknames that we had. Because it was Soper was one, right? Pony was the other one because he always had pony fucking pants, the pony brand.
Yeah.
So his name was Pony. We had Cheeto because he looked orange as hell.
Isn't there always a Cheeto?
Yeah.
In every group there has to be one Cheeto.
We had Seaman because he was pale as fuck.
Yeah.
So like all these unfortunate.
Some semen is not pale.
When you're a kid, you don't give a fuck. I had my first kiss during middle school. And it was at a hospital because the girl was sick and I like loved her apparently. And I fucking gave her a kiss and I remember that shit forever. And like once I grew up I was like, man, that chick was ugly. Why the fuck did I like her? Yep, she died though. Rest in peace.
Boom, 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 boom.
You
boom,
kissed her, she
boom.
died?
Yeah, I probably killed her.
See you at the crossroads.
But that's when I had my first kiss. When I was in middle school. So I think that was my
To a
last,
dead girl.
my last memory.
That's
It was because that was the last year. So that was,
I remember my first sort of like sexual experience
it went from like innocent first kiss
was
to a sexual experience.
I went to this older girl's house. Her name was Tanya, and she was known as a fucking really big slut. And we had the same fucking science project. You have to be somebody. So she's like, come to my house because we used to get the bus, right? So the bus would leave her off and then like drop me off like 10 things later. So she's like, well, you know I live right here, so just come to my house and we're working on the science project. So I get there and I'm like, okay, what's the science project? It's like, oh, I have these cool like electrical nodes that if you put a hot dog on it, it fucking cooks it. And I'm like, yeah, that's cool, but what are we gonna do about it? It's like, I'm gonna put it on my nipples. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? I mean, we're literally like fucking 13, like a 14. I must have been 14 because I was like in 8th grade, and she was like 17 and she was in 8th grade. Like, she fucking she was a total fuck up, right? So I remember like she puts the hot dogs on the thing and the weenies all burning, and she fucking essentially like rushes me and starts kissing me, and like I'm a little kid, I don't know shit about things like that. And then I remember the weenies started burning and I was like, oh shit. And I was like, what's that fucking smell? And like her dad comes in and like, what are you guys doing? And fucking weenies on fire. A little weenies on fire, like in their garage. Like it was,
And your little weenie was on fire.
that was actually, you're right. I didn't know anything about them for that shit. I won't go into other shit, but yeah, that's my first thing.
Wow. So I was like, I was talking about my first kiss.
That was my first kiss too. stuff.
It wasn't innocent though. That shit
And then I
was,
put that note.
that was some
And I
dirty
put that
shit.
note up, boy. You had me right in the lightning.
That was some dirty ass shit.
I didn't know nothing about that shit.
I didn't lose my virginity till I was in high school. I was a sophomore.
It's cool.
So, I was innocent. No, I'm not really.
I feel like people now want to get, and this is from my experience dating younger women, is I used to date specifically older women that are like 5, 6, 7 years older than me because I was always kind of like a weirdo that I hung out with older people anyways, always since I was youngster. And then over the last like 5 or 6 years since I fucking had that shitty ex, I started dating younger women.
Because
and
you
I
realize that the older now look like shit.
I no, I know. Shout out Caramia, she's still a fine looking old lady.
No, but I'm just because.
But I remember like a lot of the younger people now who are 20, 21, 22, they're more into getting choked, spit in my mouth, slap me, call me this, and then it's like what the fuck? Because you know I grew up in a generation that's like, you know, you're trying to impress somebody by not being a douchebag.
We were decent.
And now it's like, oh, she wants me to be a douchebag, and I'm like, all right, I guess, fucking, here you go. Like, you know, I don't want to. Like, I'm not gonna hit you. I'm a fucking
word.
giant man. I
The
don't wanna
same word
fucking
is
attack
no.
you, you know?
No.
To me, that's weird because even younger than that, because like I say, I go to shows and I
Hey,
see people.
Look, this generation, whatever, they have porn now so easy.
It's free.
When I
Let
was
me get this hair off your face. Let me get it. All right, it's been bothering me this whole time.
when I was a kid, but the only way to watch porn was my dad's fucking like hidden tapes.
His betas.
And it was always the same porn. So you even grew tired of it. You're like, this shit doesn't even get me off anymore.
Look at that disgusting pimple. You've been seeing the same pimple for the last 10 years.
Now you can just like be like, what do I want to see? You know, whatever you want.
Sometimes you just gotta scroll, baby. Sometimes you just
It's
gotta.
everywhere. Tumblr, Twitter.
You can
You
fucking.
know,
Yeah, that's
everywhere.
fucking everywhere.
You like do you like the chosen? Yo, you like the whatever you can fucking find. So it's so easy for maybe that's why people are creeps now.
I was like, for me, it was what the Channel 98 where it was all fuzzy, or late night sex.
Sometimes
with,
it would get
Sue
stuck.
Johansson.
It would get stuck, and you'd be like,
Yeah,
yes,
like, there you go.
I got it.
Oh shit! Let's do it fast. Do it fast before it goes away.
Don't change the channel.
That's why we can still. That's why like American Pie holds up for us, cause like the kids now would be like, what? Why don't you just go to his computer and like instead of watching that static shit? Let me fix it.
Well, I was watching some show. I can't remember what it was. It was a 90s show also, where they had fucking cordless phones, and I was like, damn, this is a fucking old show. If it's like they had a phone, and then I forgot who else was there. Like my friend's like son or whatever, and he's like, what the fuck is that? I was like, motherfucker, that's a phone. That's not. He's like, that's a phone. I was like, yes, dude, that's a fucking phone. 25
like, Mom.
years ago, bro.
When your mom would be like, get off the phone now! What?
You talking?
Yeah.
You were singing Usher songs?
Stop it!
Let me
Stop
take
it!
you to a place nice and quiet. Get out, I'll be off.
Can I use the internet? They're like, Mom, are you trying to use the phone? The internet went off. Yeah,
I don't know. I don't really.
the dial-up days.
In middle school is an ugly thing, and I think we do a disservice to our kids and have been doing a disservice to our kids. Back in the day, we used to teach people a skill, a trade, and an art. Like that was like a very Roman, Spartan thing to do. Like you used to touch your kids those three things, and it created character because you had to train with different people, and you went to different areas of the empire to.
Shut up!
You were forced to travel. Now we don't even allow our kids to go to field trips. You know.
I allow mine,
everything
but
is
they
so,
go to bullshit field trips, dude.
I remember the box factory.
I don't know,
Or the
like-
salination plant. Everybody had to go to the fucking salination plant on the east side. On the west side. That was just like pool water and fucking spiders.
Pool water.
I was like, oh yeah, great fucking spiders.
Great fucking field trip.
Yeah, I was like, thanks.
I think that maybe they're better off with that one.
Yeah. They're like, you know, a pizza party would have sufficed. Just as much as a fucking Salination.
Well, anyways, I guess with that said, we have some weird ass fucking experience. We all have different, you know.
He had the most motley of them.
I still have a lot of stories left over, but I think they're gonna come here and there as the podcast, you know, because that shit just comes to my mind, and then I remember a lot of shitty things. Oh, there was another nickname. This one I think probably the shittiest of them all. But there was this really big, tall girl, and she was really fat too, and it wasn't on my. This was a different.
Oh, she was thick.
And I don't remember her name because everybody just called her Keiko. And that was fucked up. And it became so bad that she just accepted it. So like, we just called her Keiko, and that was her name.
Keiko.
The fucking the Shamu.
Keiko was the Shamu? Why didn't you just call her Shamu? Or Free Willy?
No, because I don't know. We were just assholes. I don't know.
That's interesting.
But that's an asshole, you know, fucking. And I regret a lot of those things that I used to do when I was a kid, but I just don't want my kid to go through that shit.
No.
Or I don't want her to be a bully either, because.
No, the other day I was at a bar. I was at one of the bars I work at, and somebody started talking shit, and I'm sitting there like fucking with him, little quips, and then he started crying in the bar, and I'm like, you know, I'm drinking, I'm not working, I'm just like, I'm having a drink, like after I got out of a show or whatever, and he starts crying, and I'm like, what? Like, you know, I was playing around with you, motherfucker, and then he's just like. Bawling, and then like everybody's like, oh shit, like he started crying, but I don't know, bro, like, you know, I was just playing around. Like, you gotta give kids a way to grow. You can't fucking sit here and think that we're gonna just create a generation of geniuses and people who have real fucking strong will if we keep treating people like this, man. We can't do it anymore. We have to, as much as we have to appreciate people's singular human experience, they have to come back to the human experience, which is all of us. We're all a part of this shit. We all can have fun and have a great time and fucking call Fat Alma and fucking Shamu over, bro. Fucking make it a party, bro. I don't give a fuck.
Well, yeah, that's kind of what should have happened, but it
you
didn't.
know.
So I mean, I regret whatever, but I mean, I hope they're okay now. And I hope maybe they're like
See you at
super
the
hot and
crossroads.
sexy, and now they're like. Oh, and even if they're not, maybe they fucking, you know, like they.
Or maybe they have 10 kids because one person found out.
Maybe one of them
sexy.
became fucking Lizzo, and she's fucking famous now, and you know, and like fucking exploring her sexuality like she is. So,
La Zoidberg?
so who the fuck knows? But anyways, with that said, and with his fucking message that he said, we're gonna end it right here. And we will see you next week. Click like, share, subscribe.
Season 2 Night Chat Podcast. Sucio, baby, aka Love Sucio.
Follow Love Sucio and follow us at Night Trap Podcast.
Like, subscribe, share, baby. We're trying to get them numbers up going into the new season. Season 2, 2 episodes a week. Hit us up. You know we love you, baby.
So there you go. This is the Creep.
Sucio. Stay sweet. Don't change. Have a great summer. Keep in touch.
Later, bitches.